Good morning. How are you today? Well, apparently the sleeping dragon has been stirred. I assume on some level that Trump has been packing snowballs, if you will, to hurl at about now. And I think what you have to do is you have to figure out his priorities. And what are his priorities? His priority is to buy the silence and reward of those people who could embarrass him. And so the pardons were number one on his hit parade. But what are we talking about today? We're talking about the fact that he said, I really think that the stimulus package should have $2,000 per person. Now, don't lose sight of the data points that he kept his mouth shut and didn't involve himself at all in any of the negotiations going back to May, and that a very delicate deal was put together. So why is he saying he's for the $2,000? Well, he's saying that to cause chaos. So people will talk about that instead of his pardons and other things he's doing. I mean, let's face it, the bill is about more than the $600. It's about people who are unemployed, people who are homeless, about small businesses, about a whole variety of things. But he picks on one thing that he figures people can focus on. And now, if I were advising the House and the Senate, the Democrats and the Republicans, how to deal with Trump, no problem. I'd say in a unified press conference, this was the best we could do, and this is what we did. And we did it in time to help people, and any delay will hurt people. In that circumstance, they would have a veto-proof Congress. So if he actually vetoed the bill, the House and Senate, Democrat and Republican, would be able to defeat it, and people would get the funds sooner. But the Democrats see an opportunity to say, yeah, what about the $2,000? Treating Trump as if he's an honest player, and he's not. He's a crook. And this is about his kind of magical misdirection. Look over here, this is what you should do. So what's going to happen? Well, it's hard to say. The Republican caucus wasn't happy with the bill to begin with. So this may have been, in the science of politics, the best possible decision with all the flaws and terrible things at a time when people have been hurting a long time. So Trump did this. Now, so why would he want to distract us from the pardons? Because sure, on their face, the pardons are an abuse of power. And there's a debate in this country, a good debate, about whether or not you can abuse a power you have such that the power is voidable or defective in its execution. So suppose I pay you for a pardon. Should that pardon be valid as a matter of law? Should it be allowed to stand? I think not. If I'm writing a pardon for myself, which he hasn't done yet as the president, should that pardon be allowed to stand? I say no. Now, there are some people that say the pardon you can, with that power in Article 2 of the Constitution, you can use that power any way you want. I don't believe that that's the case. But let's dig deeper. If I were the Attorney General and Biden were the president, and I'm not seeking to be the Attorney General, but free advice, you get what you pay for. I would want to look at every pardon that did not go through the process at the Justice Department. That process set up so that there were screening and standards for pardons so that there would not be an abuse. Now, how does this contrast with what happened? Well, there's a lot of room for some bad work here. That is to say, were there bribes? Was there exchange of promises? When were they made? How long ago? Is this the cleaning up that the President Trump promised to these people should he not win the election? All of that is corrupt. All of that, in my opinion, means that the pardons are no better than bribes and gratuities, and the pardons are not valid. And they should be invalidated. And how would you do that? You'd go to court and you'd say, here, because of this criminal prosecution or this misconduct, that pardon shouldn't stand. Another thing you could do is, if you're indicting these people for these crimes or seeking that the sentence be upheld, you would cite why the pardon was void or voidable. The president doesn't want that discussion. He wants to deal with the news cycle attention span to get past this. So those kinds of fights, if Biden or the Attorney General, other than myself, should decide to go forward, would be sustained in that effort. So that's how I see it today. I did get a phone call. I may get to talk about this on Ari's show tonight. I may not. It's hard to tell with the breaking news. Right now, what Trump has succeeded in doing is making the $2,000 the top story. The virus is an important story, so it's in second place. And Trump has already succeeded in pushing the pardon story down, although it's a really big deal, and there'll be more to come. So in my opinion, he's shown himself to be better at his game of misdirection and chaos than these lifetime politicians in both parties on both sides of the hill. And news business being what it is, it's reporting what these people are doing wrong. And they're sort of like Tyro chess players who never think past, I move my pawn here, there, I've done something. The question is, what does he do? Does he move a pawn and a knight? Does he move these kinds of questions should be basic political think. And so the common man and woman, meaning we the people, we see right through it. But these people don't, and they play this act out like we're too dumb to understand. Anyhow, have a good day. We'll live through this, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.